Hi everyone, welcome to Gricklish Outdoors. Today we are looking at two different kind of projectiles for your air guns. The Kvintor Arrows and the Gamo darts. So, stick around. Now a viewer of the channel suggested I actually review these, so thank you very much to you, William. And I thought actually they looked very interesting. I'd seen them online a few times and never really thought about trying them out. So today we're going to test out these arrows or darts from a .177 break barrel air gun, just to see how accurate they are and how fun they are to shoot. It does state online that both of these arrows or darts are reusable. That means you can continue to fire them out of your gun as long as they're in good shape. Before we get into testing both of these projectiles, let's have a few facts and figures. Now the Gamo darts are also sometimes called airsoft tassels. And although they're classed as 4.5mm or .177 caliber projectiles, they're actually 4.38mm in diameter and are 30mm long. They weigh 0.6 grams. They are made from steel and plastic. You get 25 of these darts per pack, and they cost €11.90 per box here in Greece. That works out as 47.6 cents per dart. The Kvintor Arrows are also classed as a 4.5mm or .177 caliber projectile, are 26.7mm long. They weigh 0.63 grams. They are made from steel and plastic. You get 10 of these arrows per box and they cost €4.90. That makes it 49 cents per arrow. Now it probably goes without saying, but these projectiles are not suitable for magazine fed air guns. Probably the only guns they're suitable for are break barrel, perhaps some PCP air rifles too, because they're just too long and they will get caught up in the mechanism of the gun itself. So to test out these projectiles today, I brought out my lovely little air rifle by BAM. This is the B15. I have reviewed it in the past on the channel. It is a 4.5mm or .177 caliber air rifle. It's got this really nice wooden stock on it, and to be fair, for a cheap air rifle, it is a great little shooter. The first testing we're going to do today is to check the velocity and power that these two projectiles produce through this air rifle. So over the chronograph, the Gamo darts had an average velocity of 110 meters per second or 361 feet per second. That equates to a power output of 3.63 joules or 2.68 foot-pounds. Next, the Kvintor Arrows had an average velocity of 104 meters per second, which is 342.2 feet per second, and that gives us a power of 3.43 joules or 2.53 foot-pounds. Now, as a comparison, I did put some standard lead pellets through. Today we're using the Crosman pointed pellets, which are 0.5 grams, and they achieved an average velocity through this gun of 173.3 meters per second, or 568.5 feet per second, which equates to a power of 7.51 joules or 5.54 foot-pounds. There are several issues which are likely affecting the power output and velocity of the arrows and darts, including weight, including the weight they fit into the barrel, and also those tails, which will produce a drag effect. One thing to be careful of is that you push the entire dart, including the tail, into the barrel. If you leave any sticking out, then the metal tip will fly off into your target and leave this behind in your gun. As we're looking at these reusable projectiles today, a normal target really wouldn't be suitable. So I bought myself a dartboard. So we've got the traditional side on here where we can have a little bit of a game, and on the back we have more of a traditional style target. First up, we're going to try a few of these Gamo darts, probably from 15 meters away. Wow, so that isn't bad at all. From 15 meters away, got one on the edge of the bullseye, 3 in the number 9, and they just drifted out a little bit there. I don't think that's too bad. For a first go at these kind of projectiles out of this air rifle, not bad, pretty accurate to be honest. You do have to be careful when pulling these darts out, otherwise you'll do what I've done and pull the tail off. They are pretty wedged in there. I think I'm going to need a pair of pliers to get those out. Next up, let's try the Kvintor Arrows. So with the Kvintor Arrows, the grouping is even tighter, and they do hit with some power. I can see the actual dartboard taking some punishment now, and they are definitely firmly wedged in there. I'm not sure if you can see that on the back, but yes, the ends of the darts are actually pushing through the other side of the dartboard. Again, so I don't damage these arrows, I'm going to actually use the pliers to pull them out. And there they are, all out, all intact. So I want to check the durability of these projectiles and check their claims that they are reusable. After the second time of firing the Kvintor Arrows, 4 were completely fine in the dartboard, but 1 lost its tail. Now it must have shattered off somewhere, I don't know where, but it did lose the tail. I continued to fire the pellets, and after 5 shots, another of the arrow heads came off. That means that only 60% of these arrows will last longer than 5 shots. Now I tried the same thing with the Gamo darts, and although they all lasted for 5 shots without disintegrating, one thing I have found is that you do have to be careful the way you pull the arrows out, the way you load your gun, and much more carefully with these, as that tail can quite easily become dislodged. So for a bit of fun, let's turn the dartboard around and play a game of darts. For this game I'm going to have 5 darts or arrows, and let's see what the maximum score I can get is. So if my scores are right, the Gamo darts get 84. Right, next up, the Kvintors. So here the Kvintor had a total of 70. So on the scoreboard, the Gamos win there. However, the groupings are tighter with the Kvintor Arrows. So which one of these do I prefer, and would I recommend you buying these? Well, for ease of shooting, the Kvintor win. They're much easier to load up into the barrel without getting anything snagged. The problem with these feathery tails is that they do get trapped in the barrel and you can pull them out. Same thing goes as you're pulling them out of a target. It's very, very easy, especially if you're using some pliers, to catch those tails and pull them out. And I'm not sure as yet whether I can repair those and then use them again in the future. During testing today, I've probably destroyed 2 of the Kvintor and 3 of the Gamo darts. So for projectiles that state they are reusable, not really that great, to be honest. The Kvintor's tail may be more stable when you're pulling them out, but it is easier detached when you're firing against the target like a dartboard. Overall, the Gamo tails do feel a little bit more unstable. However, if the tail does come off, you could probably still use those tips as a projectile. When we compare them directly, yes, the Gamo's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more unstable tails. The accuracy, yes, maybe tighter groupings with the Kvintor than the Gamos, but overall I think the accuracy is pretty good from 15 meters away. They're both fun to shoot, but what is my favorite? I'm not sure, to be honest. They both have a lot of pros and cons. I think if I was going to shoot things repeatedly, then probably the Gamos. If I was going to shoot occasionally and I wanted something very quick and easy to fire, then probably Kvintors. But would I buy either of them again? No, probably not. For something which isn't as reusable as the manufacturers state in my targets today, 50 cents a pellet more or less is quite expensive. Yeah, they're fun, yeah, they're unique. I wouldn't recommend these, of course, for pest control or hunting. They're purely for target shooting. So I'm glad I tried them, but I wouldn't buy them again. And that is my final thought of the Kvintor and Gamo arrow or dart projectiles. Let me know what you thought of these in the comment section below. Thanks again for William for suggesting these. But for now, thanks for watching, take care, much love, see you next time.